So the last piece which we will actually see today is on operators. Okay. So from the term itself, you can understand, right? So what is an operator? To perform any operation like arithmetic operation or any relation operation, we'll be using operators. Okay. So there are different types of operators which are there: unary, arithmetic, relational, and logical. Okay. So unary operators, where we basically use this, if we are using a looping statement. Okay, if I want to execute my set of program 10 times, okay, I write system.out.println, okay, and I give my name as Harish, and if I want to print it 10 times, I can use an unary operator where I can increment, decrement, prefix and postfix, and I can play around with it. Okay, so that's where we use unary operator. Arithmetic operators, from the term itself we can understand, right? So if I want to perform any arithmetic operation, usually we use additions and divisions where we need to get a percentage or something like that. We use that one. Okay, star is where we use multiplication. So we use these kind of arithmetic operations in our program. So that is that. And the relation one is very important. So unary relational is what we basically used in our looping statement. Okay. So looping statement is the next concept is what control flows. In that we will be seeing that in detail. So what will happen if I want to check? Usually when we write a automation script or a normal program, right, we have to do some check, right? Whether this number is greater than or equal to this one, or it is just greater than this value, equal to, not equal to. Those kind of conditions will be done with the help of this relational operators. Okay. So logical, the last piece and or not. If this is there, we'll be validating both the conditions and we will be giving the results accordingly. Or condition, right? Or is if one value is true, we'll be able to execute it successfully. So that is the difference between logical operators. So logical operators go with and or only. Okay. So we will see few examples how these operators can be used into a program, and we'll quickly skim you through the usage of these operators. Okay. So it's very straightforward thing, but just we have to know how these syntax are used. So that's why I just want to touch base on this operators example. Okay, so let's quickly play around with our first arithmetic operators. Arithmetic operators. Okay, so now I think if you are actually using Eclipse, you actually get good hands on how to type your programs and stuff, right? So now what I'll do is I'll put everything inside my main method itself, so that I don't need to call it explicitly public static void main of string marks. See, by default in Eclipse, right? Once I give, just I'll show this to you. These are all few shortcuts team. Okay. Once I open brace and give enter, by default it will close for me. And if I just select this one, right, it will show me where it is getting closed also. If I select this one, it will tell me where this braces is getting closed. Okay, so with this you can understand, okay, what kind of code, where that flow is being started, where it is being ended. So those things you will be able to understand it quickly. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll just give C calculate team. I'll give the operators in my SYSO statement also. I can just give a plus b, something like this, or I can even give integer c is equal to a plus b also. Anything I can do it. Okay, I can give one more statement. So C I can give. So obviously my result will be 30 for me, right? So this is where I can use any arithmetic operator. I can basically use dividend, multiplication, division. You can just change the operator over here. So this is from your arithmetic operator standpoint. Okay. Now let's see from our conditional operators how we are using equal to, not equal to, and other steps. Okay. So let me take an example. So let me put it this way: integer, or else let's take this a, b, and c itself. Okay. So now what I'll do is I'll just give a condition over here. Okay. So see here, if, okay, or else I don't want to confuse with A and B. I'll create one more step. Integer x is equal to 10. I can give any definition stream in my program. Integer y is equal to 20. So z is equal to 30. Okay, see carefully. Now what I'm going to do here is I'll just give an if statement. Okay, if is again a keyword. Here I'm going to use my conditional operation. If x, okay, is equal to y, if x is equal to y, and okay, so x is equal to z. So is this condition true? No, right? Because x and y values are completely different. I'll be able to check my and condition something like this. Okay, so I will say if my x and y is actually I mean the x value and my z value are basically equal over here. In this way I can check my two conditions like this, or I can even say if x is lesser than equal to y and x is lesser than equal to z, I'll just put a scissor statement. X is lesser than y and z. Okay, now see carefully team, I'm just going to run this program. It's as simple as that. See, x is lesser than y and z, and 30 and 30 I'm able to print this one. You're able to see, right? So in this way I can give my conditions, or I can say this is and condition, right? So I will put something like this. X is greater than equal to y, which is not, okay, but I'm giving and over here. Let's see what's happening. This does not execute for me. You are able to see in my previous example, my system statements were executed, but in this statement, this system does not execute. Why? Because in and both my conditions has to be true, correct? So this condition is basically a failure for me, but this condition is a pass. That's why this is not being executed for me. Now to make this one executed, what I can do, I can just give my or condition. So you know what is or, right? For giving or condition, what we have to do here is team before your, I mean top of two pipeline symbols. Okay, you need to just give that pipeline symbol 2 times. It will be your backslash and pipeline symbol will be same in your keyboard. Okay, so once you give like this, see, it will basically check either one of the condition is true and will execute my output for me accordingly. So once I run this program, see, here it has not been executed, but here it is, since one of my condition is true, it is being executed and gives me the scissor statements over here. Okay, so this is how we basically play around with operators, and there are other operators which we saw, right? Unary, increment and decrement. So I'll show one quick example on that also. Okay, now see carefully team, just this, I'll just take this and I'll stop it for questions. Okay, now what I'm going to do here is I'll just give integer d is equal to 10. See carefully what's happening from a unary operator standpoint. Now what I'm going to do here is if I give syso, if I give d plus plus, can you guess what would be the output over here? Can someone quickly guess and tell me what would be the output? Okay, let me run and show it to you. See, it is still 10 only. Can you tell me why it is still 10? Why? Because in the memory it will be saved as 11. It has been incremented, but while printing, we are first printing that value of d only. Then only we are incrementing the value of, I mean, that is yeah, incremented operator over here, right? So what will happen during execution is, let me put it one more time. So if I just give d plus plus, first it will print the value of d, but in the memory it will be saved as 11 for me. So output will be 10, but in memory the value will be 11. Okay, so you should not be thinking, okay, once I executed, why it is still showing 10. I'm just incrementing, I'm incrementing the value of d, but why it is still not showing me is what you'll be thinking, right? But what will happen in real time is first I'm printing the value of D, but I'm incrementing it in the memory. It will be saved as 11 for me. Okay, so now if I print it, now let me show one more trick over here. Okay, I'll just give one more so I'll just give plus plus D. Now can you guess what will be the output here? Can someone quickly guess and tell me the answer? Okay, 11. Anyone else?
It's 12.
Okay, that's a good one. 12. Okay, let's see what is the output. Let me run this program and show it to you. It is 12. Why? Because in the memory it is 11. And first what we are doing, we are incrementing the value. Then we are adding that value over there. So what will happen in the memory it is 11. It is being incremented to 12 and the 12 value will be printed to us. So the output will be 12 and also in the memory it will be 12. So let me put one more trick here. I'll just use this. So D minus minus. Now what would be the output?
It's 12 only.
Same
Printing,
12.
yeah. Memory, it will be 11.
Okay, let me run it again. Cool. So you got the point, right? So once we actually define it, we predefine the operators, it will do that arithmetic operation accordingly. But once we define it, the variable, and we give the operators after that, it will be doing it, but it will be saving the memory. But once we print it, only the value which is been allocated in the variable, only that it will be shown for you. So here it will be, the output will be 12 and in the memory it will be 11 because it has been decremented for you. Okay, so now the last case, what will happen if I just give so minus minus, okay, so if I just give so minus minus D, now it will again go back to my default value, that is basically 10 for me. So now you understood, right? So how we started with 10 and how we arrived at 10 as well. So this is why I took some time for this explanation is in our looping statement, right? In our control statements, we basically use these kind of operators and we play around. Okay, we have to be very careful on how this works. So that's why I just took some time on explaining this. So this is all from the operator standpoint. So hope this operators is pretty clear. So today, just to do a recap of what we saw, right? So we started with normal Java program and Notepad. We were able to run it with the help of our compiler. We were able to see the class files. Then we slowly started with how we can set up the project in Eclipse editor and how we can write different programs. We saw what is a class, what is an operators, what is an object, right? What are the different types of data types. So these are things which we have basically touch based. All right. So I'll just